I'm going to talk to you next about urge incontinence, and this is a follow-on video from our stress incontinence video. So urge incontinence is also a big problem in women and has a very high frequency of occurrence. So urge incontinence is, as the name says, it's when you have that really strong urge to go and it's so hard to control it that you're unable to get to the toilet in time. So urge incontinence can often be caused by detrusor activation or overactivation. So the detrusor muscle sits in the bladder, and it's the muscle that allows your bladder to be relaxed and allows it to then fill with urine. It's also the muscle that contracts and causes you to go and release your urine. So when this muscle is overactive, it's telling you you need to go before you may even be full, and it's causing you to go as well. So I want to run through some strategies as to how to manage this condition and how to hopefully improve it so that it becomes less of an issue for you. So there's 3 different management tools. Number 1 is increasing your pelvic floor strength. And so basically with increasing that pelvic floor strength, you're able to reduce the amount of urine you lose when you have that urge. So that urge episode. So if you have a stronger pelvic floor, it's able to close the channels to stop that urine from flowing out, even though that urgency episode is going on. Also, having pelvic floor strength does decrease the amount of overactivation that you're having. Number 2 is lifestyle changes. So balancing the fluid that you're intaking, not having too much, but also not having too little. Both can have negative effects. Also eliminating bladder irritants, so caffeine, artificial flavoring and sweeteners and carbonated drinks, that could also add to that overactivation. The final thing is behavior, and this is a big part of managing your urgency. So behavior, when this urgency comes about, first thing first is to try to wait it out so that when you're going to the toilet, you're at a much calmer state and you're less likely to have that accident. So often when you have that urgency, you try to get to the toilet really quick, and whilst you're doing that, all the pressure in your bladder is increased, and that pressure means that you're going to let it go. Also, the stress of just trying to get to that toilet on time builds up how strong that urge actually is. So I want to show you a strategy of how you can manage that. So firstly, when that urgency episode comes about, I want you to sit down. There's a number of things that can help you calm your body and to lower that urge. So number 1 is pressure to perineum, which is that whole area underneath. So if you're sitting and you're not in public, then you can put your hand there and just press up. If you're in public, you might want to find the edge of a chair or table and just sit on the edge so that you get that pressure on your perineum. That's one really helpful strategy. Number 2 is activating your pelvic floor. So if you can do a 10-second hold of that pelvic floor, it allows it to just settle that little bit more. And number 3 is activating the tibial nerve. So it's a nerve that runs down your leg but actually affects your bladder and that area around there. So if you actually curl your toes and also activate your calf, so if you go up as well, you'll find that that manages to shut that area down and slow down that urgency. You'll notice that's what kids do when they're busting and they need to go to the toilet. They walk towards you up on their toes and holding themselves because they naturally know how to reduce that urgency. And number 4 is actually using the frontal lobe in your brain to help shut down that urgency message. So doing some maths in your head, counting back by 3 or 7 from 50, something tricky to just calm that mind down and change topic. So these are 4 strategies you can use. If I run through it just briefly again, you have your urgency episode, quickly have a seat, put some pressure to your perineum, take some nice deep breaths to change your mindset and calm yourself, do a pelvic floor contraction for about 10 seconds, and then curl your toes and turn your calf muscles on and start to try and do some maths. That bit gets a bit stressful when you're already pretty stressed, but it is helpful in that. Hope this video has been helpful.